Everybody, and happy Sunday to you. Sitting here now, just been doing a bit of social media before I go out to lunch. Looking forward to lunch. Now, you've seen across my social media platforms, Michael Carroll and NLP Academy, that I've been publishing these things called NLP Presuppositions. Now, as a category of presuppositions exist two ways in NLP. Firstly, primarily, as a category within the meta model and Milton model, the definition of an assumption inherent in a sentence, which is accepted as true if the assumption is accepted as true. Bit of a mind fuck at that, really. But basically, a presupposition is an assumption. And like most assumptions, when challenged, technically they're not true and they're not grounded, which is why as coaches and practitioners, we challenge the assumptions in a client's map of the world. But alongside that, in a seminar, John Grinder told me in a seminar way back in the 70s, when he and Ban were working together, people were so off their map with the unconscious processes that Bandler and Grinder were working with at the time, they both felt, Bandler and Grinder, people needed something to hang on to, almost a distraction for the conscious mind. So they came up with these set of statements or assumptions, which are convenient beliefs for an NLP practitioner or coach to act as if these assumptions or statements are true in a coaching context. Yeah. Now, if you read Frogs into Princes, you were reading that book, you'll actually see these presuppositions coming up a lot in the actual language of the presenters, not listed as statements. So I'm not exactly sure when the seminar was that John was referring to, but it is very, very interesting. You know, they just come up with them just as a way of distraction or to hold attention, as it were, for the conscious mind, so that the rest of the unconscious processes could, be mediated. So what I've published so far is the NLP presupposition: the person with the most flexibility will control the system. The map is not the territory, second number one, and the word is not the thing. The next one I published was there's no such thing as failure, only feedback. And the one I published earlier today, behind every behaviour there is a positive intention. Now, in the text element of behind every behaviour where there is a positive intention, this is seriously open to challenge. Yeah, every behaviour, which behaviour specifically? Intention is a nominalization, so intend, how specifically. So, you can really challenge these: positive, how specifically, and according to whom. Yeah. So these are not well formed from a meta model perspective, but of course it's useful for us to believe as coaches, that behind every behavior there is a positive intention, because in this instance we chunk up to intention to find new behaviors and choices that have a better consequence. If we as coaches, we're doing something or anything in our life where there is not a positive outcome, I'm going to there is no failure, there's no any feedback now. If we go to, any context in our life where we didn't get the desired outcome, yeah, otherwise known as failure in many sort of walks of life, I think you can only fail if you give up. But secondly, there's always something to learn, when you didn't get the outcome, So these are to be taken, not literally, but as useful assumptions to act as if they are true in the current context, But also there may be times when counterexamples are true as well. That's called flexibility. So if we act as if they're true all of the time, we probably won't be the person with the most flexibility in the system. And certainly linguistically, if we act as if they're true all of the time, the map is the territory, in that statement. All right. So it's quite interesting there. Different ways of looking at how presuppositions operate, both linguistically in client context. What are the assumptions that the client's holding for them not to be achieving their outcomes? All right. That's one way to look at presuppositions. And what are the assumptions the practitioner is holding to coach that client to achieve their outcomes? That's my thought for now. Now it's lunchtime for me. So over and out, and have a lovely Sunday.